Well, the virus has now killed more than 100 people in China, and new cases have been confirmed around the world.
So you don't want to frighten the American public.
France and South Korea have also got evacuation plans.
But you need to prepare for and assume
strongly warning Americans to avoid all non-essential travel to China.
That this is going to be a real serious problem.
France, Australia, Canada, the US, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, the list goes on.
Health officials are investigating more than 100 possible cases in the U.S.
Germany, a man has contracted the virus.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
Japan, where a bus driver contracted the virus.
Coronavirus has killed more than 100 people there and infected more than 4,500.
We have to prepare for the worst, always, because if you don't and the worst happens...
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
This is why you didn't see any surrogates come out. This is why you didn't see any Democratic Party people in the know ever come out and defend the Bidens. Because right now, Jack Maxey on our Twitter feed, was it at
War Room Pandemic?
At War Room Pandemic. As you can tell, I know very little actually how this thing operates, right? So at War Room Pandemic, we're putting up one at a time the financial sign, joint venture agreements, engagement letters, wire transfers, in living color. Jack Maxey is putting it all up. Before I bring in Mayor Rudy Giuliani, I want to, Jack, walk us in. We've talked Jack Posobiec actually into staying into this hour, right? He's working on a bunch of stuff that's associated with this, obviously, but also he's here to be our guard against Jack. Jack Maxey's so jacked up right now that we got Posobiec's agreed to sit there and kind of calm him down. Okay, before we bring in Rudy, walk me through, summarize what you're putting up today.
Listen, there are contracts with Burisma Holding in which there was a dividend payment of 15 million euros from 2017. This is long after Hunter apparently left.
He never took
Burisma.
A penny. Joe Biden told me he never took a penny.
I remember he had left Burisma in 2016 because people thought there were problems.
We told you the $50,000 was nothing. Been saying that forever.
Yeah, Maxie, I keep looking at these dates, and I'm saying they said he left, but he keeps getting documents. He's in the emails.
This idea that none of this occurred during the presidency is a total joke. We've got tons of emails. Hunter had a special file that I want to give a shout out. I'm sorry, I have to do it. I said I was going to do it, and it needs to happen. There is an amazing, patriotic young man from Dallas, Texas, who has helped us over the years. He's a computer genius. He's also a great American Christian, and he is part of the Gateway Church in Dallas. So I'm asking Pastor Robert Morris if you can allow this great Christian patriot to stay here for the weekend. I know he's supposed to be there at service, but my gosh, what a great man. We found every single PDF document that Hunter does not want.
And his family's from Madras, India. I mean, this guy is an immigrant family that is super patriots. Right? He's like a Dave Ramaswamy guy.
Alliance of Liberty, right here in the War Room. So we have comments all the way back from 2011. Devin Archer and him. We need to talk about the Super Chairman Fund. That's
where's K-File? Where's K-File CNN? Zucker, if you get the K-File on top of this, just take our Twitter feed and just K-File should be all over this, right?
Here's where they get a special distribution of 15 million euros after Hunter left Burisma. Wonder where that's going. And it was supposed to be a repetitive distribution. This wasn't a one-time deal. But one thing I'd really like to read for people, because I think it lays out everything in one letter. July 10th, 2017, Dear Mr. Hunter Biden, this is from Yi Jiaming. It's sent from 111 Jingo Road, Zhuhai District, Shanghai.
This is a senior member of Chinese intelligence. Read the letter, sir.
Dear Mr. Hunter Biden, I am glad to hear from you. Time flies, and it has been months since we met in the U.S. It seems that we were always on a rush when we were together. Thanks to your support to our cooperation, the consensus we made last time has been materialized in a timely manner. I am grateful that you introduced Mr. Bobulinski to our partnership. I have great impression on him through your letter, and he also sent me letter to brief on situation. I believe he will bring significant impotence to our cooperation with his abundant experience and outstanding capability. Our cooperation in Oman and Romania. Hey, Romania, James Biden, we're coming for you, babe. We don't have time to put everything up in 2 hours. Prosecutors have to do a little bit of this work.
These are the documents that Bobulinski
Our
was talking
cooperation in Oman and Romania has been productive, and I am aware of the status quo. you could arrange your people to coordinate with Director Zhang and Gong Wendong for specific work.
Hey, folks, we got the receipts.
And I will continue to pay attention and give my support. I have arranged for Director Zhang, Gong Wendong, to expedite the charter capital.
Gong Wendong, Kevin Dong,
into
another Chinese intelligence operative.
I look forward to meeting you in the near future and discussing our joint undertakings. If there is anything I could do, please do not hesitate to write me.
Okay.
Please accept my best regards to you and your family.
Can I?
That would be the Bidens. Very good.
Yours faithfully.
I got to bring in.
Beijing.
What do you got? I got to bring in.
Well,
Rudy.
just so people understand, the fact that this was done after Joe Biden left office, they're saying, "Oh, well, I've seen some people say that. Oh, it doesn't matter because he was out of office."
No,
you're not getting it.
president.
It's because he's getting ready to run.
Yeah,
they're preparing him. And that's why they were continuing the Guanxi relationship.
It's from the relationship from during the years in the White House. That's obvious, right? During the years in the White House, and now they're monetizing it.
Another thing, Eric Schwerin.
Okay.
Owasco.
Okay, we got
it all.
Let's go to Rudy. Okay, we got more to go through. Jag Max is going to have more to talk about. And outing these guys. You ought to step forward and write affidavits right now, guys. Come clean. Chris Hines. Mayor Giuliani, Rudy, I want to get your take, first off, on the slew of financial documents, joint venture agreements, retainers, all with members of the Chinese Communist Party. You're former head of the Southern District of New York, back when they were good guys there. Tell us what, as a prosecutor, you've talked about going after RICO as a prosecutor, and particularly about national intelligence. This is not about Hunter Biden. Put in perspective where we are with the criminality of this.
Well, this is a totally different kind of transaction than the earlier one with China. In my view, looking at that very carefully, looking at the hard drive very carefully, I think I've seen most of those documents. This is an espionage operation. This is an attempt to tie Joe in. Like, look, they invested a lot of money in him earlier, right? 1.5 billion commitment to the fund. He probably made somewhere between 20 and 30 million with them earlier. So you'd say, well, that's enough. Well, you know, a politician has never really bought until the last guy buys him. And the Chinese have plenty of money. So they tied him up in an unbelievably compromising situation. He is the partner. This man is going to run for president of the United States. And if they reveal it on him, he's going to be running as a partner of three of the most notorious Chinese communists, one of whom is described by his own son in the audio recording that we have as a spy master. Now, the Chinese could not have been smart enough to realize that the American press would cover all this up. They probably figured, Steve, this was a kill shot. We got this guy in business, in a $10 million a year business, as a partner of the Chinese communists. Right? Nobody's going to elect him. What they didn't count on is that 3/4 of the American press will cover it up, either because they're favorable to the Chinese communists, because they're sick, demented over Trump, or they do anything for the Democrat Party. But this was an espionage operation. It's quite clear from the documents. This was not really going to be a business. Poor Mr. Bobulinski thought it was. And he thought he was going into a real business. You can hear it when he says, you know, we were supposed to get $10 million, and then Hunter stole $5 million as a forgivable loan. Now, with no interest. What is a forgivable loan?
That's a forgivable loan is a cash payment.
No interest.
And they kept kicking it down the road just to make sure that they could always
it's a bribe. So what's the crime here?
So,
the crime here could very be conspiracy against the United States of America. It's a conspiracy to set up an espionage operation. It's a fraud because it's a non-business, and all the things that Bobulinski was told turn out to be untrue, and that would prove the fraud. And it would be like the 5th or 6th count in a RICO indictment. We call them predicates. RICO has to have predicate crimes. There are about 25 that would be in my RICO indictment. Which I
listen, we talk about RICO, but this is what I understand. Knowing that these people were all politically exposed people, knowing these wire transfers are going around. Southern District of New York was looking at this. Why didn't Southern District of New York, why didn't the FBI, why didn't the CIA, why didn't the National Security and Justice Department, why was there not movement earlier on Biden and the Biden crime syndicate? Why this stuff is so, this is paint by numbers. This is not even that difficult. Why they had all this information. I think what the American people need to hear is, why is the system breaking down, or is the system already sold us out to the Chinese Communist Party? Is there so much infiltration? Okay? This is not Steve Bannon being crazy. We got the receipts. We got the
Steve,
docs.
you're not,
okay?
This is the one time you're not crazy. You're right on target, my friend. You're right on
Mayor,
target.
This is Jack Maxey.
And it's the Chinese communists, it's the Democrat Party, it's the left-wing ideology, and it's the Trump derangement syndrome. And then it's just pure greed on the part of big tech, Dorsey and that other jerk that runs the other company. It's just pure greed. It's a Chinese market. So you got all those things working.
That's the artificial intelligence robot Zuckerberg, AI.
Yeah. I mean,
Mayor,
here's the one thing is any lack of concern for the United States of America or the national security of the United States of America, which every single one of them is sold out.
Jack?
Mayor, I wanted to say one of the things that's so frightening, and I wonder if you're finding it as well, as I was going through this with Sam Faddis, and we were seeing this global web, this global conspiracy to commit crime, launder money, etc., and launder really the future safety of the American people for the economic benefit of the Biden family. And there are going to be several other top progressives who are going to come down in this. What was so shocking to us, when you think of all the conspiracy theories that we heard, this was so much worse than we could have ever conceived what we're finding out now. How do you feel about that, Mayor?
Well, I mean, it frightens me to no end, and I don't get easily frightened. It's also something that 2 or 3 years ago, if I had heard me say this or heard you say this, I would have said we were crazy. It's true. It's not only true, it's probably worse than we actually realized. That whole 3.5 million from the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. I mean, from everything I can tell, that's part of a massive money laundering scheme. I think the FBI is investigating that, because when they got the hard drive,
it'll take them 3 years. FBI's not investigating anything. Let's not give them cover. That's an excuse to kick the can down the road for years, Mayor. If they had been investigating, there would have been Ray must be fired this morning. If it's not fired this morning, this is a mark. This is a mark. I don't want to hear. There's not one vote in this country. The people around the president telling me that are the same weak pencil necks that sit there and tell him everything to do that's weak. President Trump is a strong leader. A strong leader now would call Ray in and say, hey, dude, let's walk through this. Here's the 10 questions I got. Why are we not on top of it? And at the end of it, say, hey, look, you're gone. You're fired. His famous phrase. That's what has to happen this morning. They're not investigating they're using that as a cover. Oh, yeah, the thing, we're looking at a money laundering situation. They're looking at that for years. That's another misdirection play, right? There's obviously money laundering here. We got the receipts right now, the documents that show that they've sold out to the Chinese Communist Party and other governments. Everything else, the Romanians, the Russians, that's just all, they're appetizers.
I agree with you completely, except for one thing. We should wait until Wednesday morning. We don't. Right now, I would not like to have any headline. No. It's hard enough.
You're one of the weak guys
through.
around him. No. You're getting weak on me, Rudy. No, you're weak.
I know.
You're weak. You sound like Chris. You spend too much time with Chris Christie. You're getting weak.
No,
the real thing is,
Chris, I'd be a lot heavier. That's not true. I don't spend that.
Whoa. Hey, Mayor, can you stay over? We got so much more I want to talk about your Greg Kelly interview.
Fun.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna stick over. We got breaking news coming in the next segment too. We got Mayor Rudy with us. In all teasing aside, he is a great rock of Gibraltar.
By the way, has Kennedy apologized yet?
No, she's not going to apologize. Come on, she should. Okay, we're gonna take. We're gonna do our music. Okay, eventually, maybe in the last
maybe in the break.
Maybe in the break, have the out music in a break. Okay, we take a short commercial break. Okay, there we go. We're playing this for Madeline Peltz. In honor of Madeline Peltz, the puppet and the Mountain Master and Little Master. Little Master here playing the out music. We're going to be back with Mayor Rudy Giuliani, Jack Posobiec, Jack Maxey, Raheem Kassam, the entire team. More breaking news. K-File over at CNN. Jake Tapper, more breaking news. Let's have a big special this afternoon.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, we're back. There's so much going on. We're breaking news nonstop. We got a lot more in this treasure trove to come from today. Actually, we've put the hard drive out for certain select organizations. No New York Times, no Get. CNN, no Get. Right? Sorry, not sorry. I want to get Mayor Rudy Giuliani back in. And Mayor, one thing I want to go to is real quickly before we turn to your Greg Kelly interview, because you're taking this to a whole nother level. Ron Johnson, who you know well, Senator Johnson says, I think we ought to think about putting a special prosecutor at the election. Why is Bill Barr not already have a special prosecutor on this? And I don't want to hear we get Durham and all these guys that put it out to the guy in Utah. These career hacks at DOJ and their career hacks, okay? That's another place got to be cleaned out. Start the Southern District. Let's go all the way back up. Blow them all out, okay? Just get rid of all of them, right? I don't need another career hack in the DOJ that stumbles around and then come back with anything. You need hammers. Go get some of the toughest litigators in the country, toughest criminal prosecutors in the country, an all-star team, and let's start signing them up to go after the elites in this country that have sold us out. That's what's happened. Bernie Bros, if you go and support this, it's on you. The reason we're here a couple days from election, because you, everybody that donated a penny Donate a penny to Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas. Okay, you're responsible. You didn't demand it. You didn't get it, and that's why we're here 5 days before an election talking about selling out to the party of Davos, selling out to the railhead of the business model, the Chinese Communist Party and Chinese intelligence. And remember, every penny in this document, all that money coming from China, the $1.5 billion, the $1 million, all the other money coming, the joint venture, has all come from the sweat of the brow of Lao Beijing. There's a slave labor. These people working for $1 a day. The suicide rates among the young women at all-time highs. Forced abortions. The whole slave labor camp that is the People's Republic of China. That's not me. That's New Federal State. That's Whistleblower Movement. That's the diaspora of these decent, hardworking Chinese throughout the world that have escaped. It's blood money. The Bidens have taken blood. It's not free money. The money came from somewhere. It came from them. The sweat off their brow is skimmed off the top by the Chinese Communist Party, money laundered into the West to buy political influence, to buy the financial institution, to buy our universities, our cultural institutions, to buy the Vatican. It's all there in living color. There's no conspiracy, but there are no coincidences. We've said this for the longest time that they were going to own this, and now it's out in living color. Jake Tapper, the K-File, Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow, you'd lit your hair on fire every night for the Russia. Look at the receipts. We've got the receipts. We've got the receipts, and now you're going to have to embrace the suck. Rudy, where's the special prosecutor? Why is it not announced today? Is William Barr another weak link in this chain?
He should have done it. Should have done it in January. Actually, should have done it when I delivered to him complete documentation of the crimes that were committed in Ukraine with a list of 12 witnesses, one of whom was a woman who was in fear of her life and needed immediate attention. And we've kind of, I don't know that she died, but we've lost her as a witness. And I was.
Hold it, stop. What do you mean? Hold it, Rudy, slow down, Mayor. What do you mean you delivered? What do you mean you delivered? Be specific. Let's be precise. What do you mean?
I gave them a body of evidence with actually a couple of crimes that could be proven just on the record, money laundering. I gave them 10 witnesses that could prove that Joe Biden was involved in 2 bribes in the Ukraine. One was to him in order to protect Zlochevsky's company, and the other was to Poroshenko in order to drop the case on the company. There are 5 witnesses to that. There are numerous documents that support it. And there's also connected to it, while he was at Burisma, about a $14 million laundered payment, in addition to the $180,000 they got per month. There's an additional $14.3 million that came in a laundered payment from Ukraine to Latvia to Cyprus, disguised as loans through phony companies of other oligarchs, and eventually it ends up in the. Okay,
hold on. I just hang over a second.
I can prosecute that in one day.
People are getting sleepy when you talk about the Ukraine. No, my point is, do you have the document? Is this what you delivered? And did you deliver this to a U.S. attorney?
Yeah, I spent 4 hours.
Did you deliver
through it with slides?
And you had the same type of level of documentation. I got the slides, but did you have the same type of backup documentation that Hunter Biden has provided the world, that Jack Maxey and his team have now exposed? Did you have
only thing we were missing is the confirmation of the meeting with the Burisma guy by Joe Biden. That was the one thing that had added to it.
Okay, so Rudy, help me out here. You ran the Southern District. What happened? You just got blown off? Is that what happened? Is that what you're telling me? You just got blown off?
Yeah. I got humored. They didn't want the president to get angry, I guess. So I got humored. The U.S. attorney showed great interest in it. The FBI showed great interest in it. And then they
here's who we need a special prosecutor on today. In addition to this, was it Preet Braha, the guy who ran Southern District? He should be invested. He's a Democratic Party operative. He's on CNN as anti-Trump. He is a criminal. The guys in the Southern District are criminals. You're criminals. They should be an immediate. Why during his watch? I was there for the meeting when he came up. A bad guy, deep bad guy. Why were these not pursued under his watch? Every document, every email, this stuff stinks. Our country was sold out. The Southern District is supposed to be on this. Pre-Braha is a Democratic Party operative. He's on CNN every day. He's a paid contributor, hammering President Trump. He's got that little podcast nobody listens to in his Twitter feed. You're a crook. And the people that work for you are crooks. And the people there now are crooks. And you think you're going to shut me up? You got another thing coming. I'm coming for you. Okay? You are crooks. You are a crook, brother. You're a crook. You look at these documentation. You knew all this stuff was going on. All the bank transfers you knew about were going on. Why are we 5 days before election that you've been pushing? You've been anti-Trump and you've been pushing this nonstop. You knew this all. This gets down to the rot inside the United States government. And somebody's got to hit this with a blowtorch. Rudy, no longer can you have a meeting and a guy pat you on the head and say, hey, Rudy, thanks for the 4 pounds of documents. I'll get back to you. And then they don't get back to you. This is the problem with the country. This is how our country gets sold out.
I'll make it worse for you so you can get even more upset. Around October 15th of 2018, a lawyer named Bud Cummings showed up at the Southern District of New York. Berman was U.S. attorney then. And he gave them a shortened version.
Hold on. But hang on. Bud Cummings is a former renowned U.S. attorney. Am I correct?
Correct.
He's a U.S. attorney.
And he gave them a smaller version, but enough so that you'd begin an investigation of Ukrainian collusion, false documentation being created on Manafort, and Joe Biden being involved in multiple bribery situations and in developing false evidence.
Hold on, hang on. When was that? And Berman, another Christie appointee, another Christie recommendation, another one of those hacks from New Jersey, Trenton, Mr. Chris Christie, transition. All the hacks you had, that's why you got blown out. It wasn't Jared couldn't stand the sight of you. He couldn't stand the sight of you. But you got blown out because your transition was a joke. All those corrupt guys up in Trenton. And here's what you gave the president, Christie. You gave him Berman, who was a disaster, and you gave him Wray, who's a bigger disaster. The reason we're in this situation is stiff. The Republican apparatus is just as incompetent, okay? These are all Christie appointees. You told them, you're telling me in June of 18, you told them you had Biden on bribery? You had Cummings go up?
Investigated. Instead of doing that, he decided to investigate Michael Cohen and the women. He investigated Stormy Daniels and all that women stuff that went nowhere, by the way, no case. And he missed and didn't, and he passed on a full investigation of the Democrat Party.
He didn't miss. Well, he didn't miss. Berman's another one. Hey, throw Berman in with Pre-Braha. I don't care if he's a Republican. Throw Berman in there too. Investigate him. All these guys have got. Berman's got to be investigated. Ray's got to be investigated. Berman's got to be investigated. Pre-Braha's got to be investigated. Pre-Braha to be in jail. You come out and you're a Democratic Party. You're a Democratic Party operative every day on Trump. Hey, guess what, bro? We got the receipts. It's all coming out. All coming out. Okay? Think you're going to back me off? Sorry, not going to happen. Okay, Rudy,
It needs to be investigated and prosecuted so it doesn't happen again. It's the only way you're going to clean up the cancer. I mean, in legal matters, the only way you clean up cancer is with prosecutions.
Listen, Rudy, I know your staff's doing an amazing job. We just need to keep you over the break for 5 minutes. I've got to get to this Greg Kelly interview because I don't think it's gotten the exposure that it needs. Okay, we apologize to your crack team up there. I know we're going too long. So we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back to Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Posobiec, I know you've been wanting to jump in here.
I have a question for, I guess, for the mayor, and Steve, you can answer this as well. I think you want to hop in, but just kind of looking at this from a different perspective. This is what they impeached the president of the United States over, just asking about this stuff. Do you think, Mr. Mayor, that this was done, that impeachment was done to stop any momentum of an investigation into all of this? Impeachment, third time it's ever happened in our history.
100%. I mean, and some of the people most active in it, I would say, have some of the bigger problems in Ukraine if it opens up. I mean, Pelosi's son and or husband have made a lot of money. There are connections between us.
Her husband's a crook.
They're terrified. Her
husband's a crook.
Romney, too.
The Reeds in gaming is going to come out.
Romney's son made a lot of money in Ukraine. You wonder, one Republican vote against impeachment? The guy's got a son that made, a big score in Ukraine. And it's hard to do business in Ukraine. Hard. You can do it, but it's hard to do business in Ukraine without corruption.
Mayor, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back in a minute, talk about your Greg Kelly interview, taking this in a slightly different direction. Okay, more documents coming out all day. Suck on that, Biden crime syndicate.
America's favorite easy on, easy off energy compression socks just got better. Introducing Copperfit Energy Plus, the world's first graduated compression socks with a rich blend of ingredients found in the top moisturizing lotions and creams. These microencapsulated ingredients are infused into the compression fabric and are gradually released and absorbed by your movement. Motion-activated technology designed to hydrate and soften for all-day comfort. The more you move, the more Copperfit Energy Socks delivers.
I'm not thinking about that I have compression socks on. That simple fact that they feel better with them on than with them off makes me love these socks.
Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric, made in FDA-approved manufacturing facilities, woven into our Easy On, Easy Off graduated compression sock to help reduce swelling and discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I feel that soothingness in my calves and in my ankles, but they can make my feet feel good after 300 miles on the road, and they got to be good for anybody else.
Enhanced compression around the arch and ankles for extra support and relief of muscle aches and pains. And a soft, shock-absorbing footbed for all-day comfort.
All that arch pain that I typically have is just relieved.
They are super comfortable.
They do the job. They're easy and they're effective. That's the whole point of wearing them.
Commercials always promise, promise, promise. This was something easy to try. Just put on a sock, see if it works. I have to say that I'm a fan.
The first ever Easy On, Easy Off compression socks with hydrating ingredients worn by thousands of essential workers across the U.S. Order your Energy Plus compression socks online now at GetEnergyPlus.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-515-8892. Order right now and get a second pair free.
I get compression, I get comfort, all in one sock.
Motorcycle guys appreciate the better technology. This is better technology.
Feel the power of Copperfit.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance. But she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
My son needs this drug. I hope it doesn't cost too much. I hope my insurance pays for it. Can you tell me how much this will be?
67.
Sorry.
Wait, have you heard about GoodRx? GoodRx finds free coupons to help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions.
Wow. I had no idea.
GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, we're here with Mayor Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, one of the greatest prosecutors in the history of this nation. Ran the Southern District when it used to be run high and tight by patriots. Mayor Giuliani, you had this very controversial interview on the Greg Kelly the other day. And tell us what were you trying to accomplish? And I don't know if we can play that, if we got anything or just in the background. Okay, not. I want to talk about we got to get the Twitter feed of Rudy, what he put up there, because I want to push this out too. Walk us through the Greg Kelly interview. What were you trying to accomplish, and what information did you put out?
Well, the information that I put out is that the hard drive contains very, very solid information of endangerment of children. And not only that, it contains an admission by Hunter Biden himself, in his own words, to his father, that he presents a danger to the children. It comes in the context of a text message to Junior, that's what he calls his father, in which he explains that his sister-in-law, who had now become his lover, that his sister-in-law no longer wants him to be in the house because the psychiatrist of a 14-year-old girl has informed her that he walks around the house naked, smoking pot, FaceTiming himself to other women, as well as FaceTiming himself to the 14-year-old girl. He goes on to say that the young girl has recanted that. However, he, in a kind of startling admission to his father, almost asking for help, he says, "But I do create," and this is an exact quote, "a dangerous environment for the kids." There are then 3 or 4 more text messages from family members pretty much saying the same thing. And then if you look at the photographs, you can see why he creates a dangerous environment. There are just too many photographs, hundreds, of him walking around the house that way, no clothes on, smoking pot, FaceTiming women, having multiple sex, sometimes kind of in the open, and smoking pot so often that no matter who you were, you would have to have known it if you were in that house. So you put those things together, and it's clear that at least there's substantial evidence of dangerous environment for kids. When Bernie Kerik and I saw that, we called in 2 former, very experienced New York City detectives who specialize in child pornography and child endangerment. They looked at it for us with no comment from us and said it is, first of all, it's startling that this wasn't acted on within 12 hours. And second, they said, you have to report this. And we said, well, it's already been reported to the FBI. And they said, well, obviously the FBI hasn't done anything. So we went to the Delaware police. We went into the lion's den. We know that Joe controls Delaware. But we said, look, it's about kids. And we went there. We had a meeting. They treated us like we were perps for a little while. They put us in an interview room until I showed them the pictures, in which case they changed their tune very quickly. They seemed very nervous. We produced numerous photographs that gave context to danger to children. And we left, and they said they would act on it quickly. Well, they did. They gave it to the AG, who's in the pocket of Biden, a female Democrat, and she punted it right back to the FBI. I mean, we came to them because the FBI did nothing, and they sent it back to the FBI.
If a child's endangered and they got these laws of mandatory reporting, everything like that, you know, you can't fault, at least right now, the Delaware police or the AG, whatever. How can the FBI be sitting on this? What has any action, to your knowledge, been taken on this?
No, sir. No action's been taken on it. And I did think that actually there was one area where Democrats and the Bidens were not beyond the law, and that was endangerment to children. But I guess I'm wrong about that, too. I guess we've become so corrupt that even that isn't worthy of investigation. I mean, Steve, this is a much worse situation than the American people realize. And they've got to vote for Trump for reasons that have to do with saving our system of justice, protecting our children.
Last time I looked, correct me if I'm just crazy. Last time I looked, the director of the FBI was picked by President Trump, reports to President Trump, and is in his administration. So why? It's not logical, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Trump partisan. You're a Trump partisan. We all think everybody ought to vote for Trump. But I don't see how you get from the jump. How do you jump to the logic that, hey, if you don't want this to happen, vote for President Trump? It's his FBI director. It's his FBI, well,
because
they report up to him.
I think it is quite clear that
the same guys that patted you on the head, you went to see DOJ. They patted you on the head, say, hey, thanks, Rudy. Thanks for the 4 pounds of documents.
I'd be willing to take the calculated risk that he's gone on Wednesday. I would take the calculated risk. I don't even think it'll wait until Thursday. I think he's gone right away.
But even if he's gone, how can you? You've got child. We've had experts on here, and I saw you got child endangerment. How? I thought the Delaware law. I thought everybody was the number one thing in the world is make sure children are not into these situations. You don't have child endangerment. So where do we stand with that? Where do we stand with actually?
Well, I mean, that has to be looked at immediately. The president would have to appoint a few people. I'd be happy to help. I mean, I know the FBI probably as well as anybody. I worked with them for 17 years. It's not as hard as you think. I mean, the rotting is at the head. It's in the head. It's the top. The field officers. I don't buy that. I don't buy. I think the systemic. It's more than a few bad apples. He changed out the bad apples and got our guys in, and they're not. He didn't. He didn't get our guys in there. That's not correct. I mean, he didn't get Peter Strzok out. Peter Strzok only came out because we found the ridiculous messages between him and his paramour. No, there are people up there in headquarters. I'm not going to say that people in the field offices aren't afraid now, but I'm going to say that the corruption comes from the top. It's not from the bottom.
Okay,
and
Mayor,
I would get rid of the entire headquarters. Bring in a whole new headquarters. Just get rid of them all.
That's good. Now we're talking.
That's the way to clean it out. And then you know you haven't made a mistake.
We finally got you there. Mayor, tell people about you're on 3:00 in the afternoon at WABC. You've got a Sunday morning show with Dr. Ryan. You got amazing. The podcast is absolutely amazing. How can people get the podcast, and what's your Twitter handle?
People can get the podcast, and we have one on right now that's that really goes into what we just talked about in some detail, and it's on rudyscommonsense.com, and I'm on ABC 77 WABC. Between 3 and 4, and tonight I'm going to do a special between 9 and 10, national.
A national special. Okay, we'll make sure that we're listening. That will get everybody in the audience to listen to that. Okay, Mayor Giuliani.
The objective here is to, in essence, break the blockade. I mean, we got to go around this ridiculous anti-American communist kind of censorship that's been imposed, and we got to talk on local radio, local television, any place that'll have us.
That's it's getting out there, Mayor. Just keep hammering it.
We got to keep trying.
Giuliani. Mayor, thank you so much. Your
thank
team's
you,
fantastic.
and thank all of you for the great work you're doing. Fabulous.
We appreciate you taking extra time with us. Okay, Jack Maxey, you're chomping at the bit.
I heard us talking about child protection and things like that, and that the fact that the FBI, we thought that was something that was above reproach, that everybody agreed that had to stop. And among all of the crazy stuff that Hunter has, I mean, we've got about 2,000 pages we printed out this morning, so we're going through it. These were files that we couldn't access till last night, or at least access them effectively. And I've got the 2019 projected budget for the Beau Biden Foundation for the Protection of Children. They are raising over $1.8 million, I believe. And in the first quarter of the year, they budget for the protection of children exactly $0. In fact, the entire year they expressed that they're going to spend about $10,000 for the protection of children, but they're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on other things like golf tournaments, outings, getting Joe Biden elected so we can cover up the criminal behavior of his family and cover up the abuse of a young child. I want all the women of America out there who think that they don't like Donald Trump's style. Think about your daughters. Think about your young children, and think about what kind of monster it would take to betray.
We want to tell the FBI today, we're putting you on notice. We're actually turning these documents over to other government agencies. We're turning over the child issues to other agencies. You failed. You're a disgrace. And people down the lower level that are patrons of the FBI understand that the people above you have disgraced you. So we know other government agencies that have cyber programs, have other programs that focus on the protection of children. They're going to get these documents, right? Somehow, the young people here have to be protected. And the ultimate hypocrisy of this, of everything, besides Joe Biden saying he's a patriot and everything, that they sold his country out for money. It wasn't ideology. Sold out for cash money. Sold out his country for money. It's not even, it's bad enough he sold out for ideology, but what's worse, you just sold it out for cash. But now the hypocrisy of actually raising money and having a not-for-profit, your son's supposed to be so think to you of child protection, right? The whole purpose of it is for child protection, right? And here you've got a situation. Why wasn't this turned over immediately? We have the receipts. We had the text messages. You got the pictures. You got the photographs. Got all of it, right? We haven't gone into great detail on this show because we think this is something the authorities ought to take up, but clearly they're not doing it. So we're turning this over today, scoop of scoops. We're turning this over to other government agencies today to make sure that they get involved in this. They have to.
Particularly the SEC, because we see multiple levels of fraud.
That's different than this.
Sure.
Stay with me. Hang in there. So on this, we're turning over to government agencies. Let's go back to the banking and securities fraud.
And remember, we talked last couple days about this company called Rosemont Gemini, which I believe was a Heinz family holding company for commercial real estate investments out in Arizona. I've got correspondence back here from 2011 with a fellow named Hugh Bing, the managing director and head of private market investment department, China Investment Corporation, talking about how they're going to cut real estate deals with Hunter Biden. Send me projects. If they meet our criteria, we'll definitely do it.
100%
This is
CCP.
ridiculous. This is whole people's corporations being bribed by communist money. And you're going to find out that Rosemont Gemini is responsible for washing millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think the Heinz family better wake up, because when there's a clawback here for people who are defrauded, you better line up the lawyers and you better come forward, because you're going to want to save your reputation, if not your bank accounts.
We're going to go, by the way, Pasoba, tell us about Philadelphia, because we're going to bring in another huge story is the beheadings in France. We're going to bring Raymond Ibrahim in the next segment. Tell us about Philadelphia, Jack.
Last night in Philadelphia, a van was discovered in the center city area of Philadelphia that contained what appeared to be as full of explosives. It contained propane, what police say were potentially dynamite sticks. Now, one of the things that we have seen in Philadelphia, both in the May-June riots and recently, are these ATM explosions. They're blowing up ATMs. They're using dynamite sticks to be able to try to crack into these ATMs to get at the penny cash. But this was discovered in Philadelphia last night, just as curfew was.
Is Philadelphia going to explode again tonight, or is it being tamped down? I know the Democrats are freaked out.
The curfew has been strong, and I can say the National Guard is starting to deploy.
National Guard is in Philadelphia.
They're starting to deploy.
So Wolf has finally been forced to.
Well, the Guard is going to be there through the election.
Okay. We're going to take a short commercial break. Raymond Ibrahim is going to join us, Sword and Scimitar. Talk about the situation in France we brought up last week, but man, it is bad. Okay, Fahim Kassam and Raymond Ibrahim will walk us through this. Jack Posobiec. We're going to return in just a minute with this beginning of something that's quite calculated that's going on in France. War room pandemic. Global. Next.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra-soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
War Room Pandemic with Stephen K. Bannon.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
On John Fredericks on Real America's Voice out of Colorado, on Newsmax TV out of Florida, we're in G News GTV. That is the sound of freedom for all the Chinese. Now, we're always tomorrow's news today. Last week we had Raymond Ibrahim in the situation in France, and where she told you this is not an isolated event, and it's only going to get worse. Another horrific attack this morning in a Roman Catholic church. I think the people were at Mass. Yeah. A woman beheaded, 2 others stabbed. I think those 2 stabbed are dead. Yeah. This is just brutal. This is totally calculated. You got Macron now, finally. The soy boys had to step up. You got Erdogan beating him up at the head and shoulders. We're bringing in now Raymond Ibrahim, sword and scimitar. If you don't have this, get it. This gives you the whole history, the whole background, all of it. Sword and Scimitar is the book. It's in paperback. You can get it on Amazon. You will not be able to put it down. Just remember, just because we're hurtling towards this election, think of the issues that were in 16. Trump broke the back of the physical caliphate of ISIS, right? Trump on the travel ban. Hey, just saying, have you seen any terrorist attacks since then? Right? That's directly no conspiracy, but there are no coincidences. One led to the other. Progressive left, suck on that, okay? I want to now bring in Raymond Ibrahim. Tell us what's going on in France. Tell our audiences what's going on. By the way, we're going to have the Front National guys on tomorrow. Jerome, Revere. They're going to be a national pulse today at 3 o'clock. But Raymond, walk us through exactly. This thing is horrific. It's getting worse. It's starting to metastasize. What's going on?
Absolutely, Stephen. Basically, as you said, a man walked in, a Muslim man, into a church and just killed 3 people, beheading 1 elderly woman. And it's this sort of thing, you know, to me, it depends on what you know. If you're following the mainstream media.
But hang on. Don't sugarcoat it. How did they do it? Somebody was beheaded. How did the beheading happen? Where did it happen? In the church?
In the church, it was an elderly woman, because it's so new from the reports that I've seen. Some people are even saying that she just had her throat slit, but it was essentially or nearly a beheading. So I'm not sure if her head was completely severed. I'm sure the intention was there. It may have been. But I don't think, and you can imagine why they don't want it.
All of you Catholics in Northeast Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, 2 random places, embrace this. In a Catholic church at a morning mass, a woman, an elderly woman, a devout elderly woman was beheaded by a jihadist. Raymond Ibrahim, take it from there.
And that's why I'm saying, if you know what's going on, this is not surprising, because targeting Catholic churches, targeting any church, Orthodox, Protestant churches in the Islamic world, and doing what we saw or what just happened actually is very common. It's standard, past and present. If you look at it, if you go to a country like Nigeria, this is a weekly thing that happens, including entering into churches, slaughtering people, massacring them, and always it's underscored by an exhibition of hatred for Christianity, which would include, desecrating crosses, burning the church, Bibles, anything like that. And why they chose a church, by the way, should not be missed on anyone, because whether France is a secular nation, whether French people are generally secular, to Muslims, they think in a decidedly religious sense. And so they still think the West is Christian. And so the way to attack it or to humiliate it specifically is you target Christian institutions, churches. So all of this, and let's not forget, was maybe 2-3 years ago, an elderly priest had his throat slit while he was conducting mass inside a church in France. Same exact story. And in Nice, the same area that this happened, we had the truck attack that killed, I think, 85 people or so. So the bottom line is you're going to keep seeing this sort of thing until an honest assessment, acknowledgement of what's going on happens.
Didn't Macron try to step up here? The satirical magazine had something. They then had the teacher showing to his class. He got beheaded in front of people. Isn't Macron trying to step up? And what's the story with Erdogan? Isn't Macron, as big a soy boy as he is, isn't he trying to step up here, shut down some of these mosques, some of these institutions that propagate radical jihad?
Right. So the rhetoric of Macron is such that it's definitely decidedly better than it was before, and it's better than most Western leaders. But there's a reason for that, because his country is suffering more because it has the largest Muslim population. And obviously, this isn't to say all Muslims are involved in this, but the more you have, then there's going to be a larger percentage that do this sort of thing. So he has to at least start. Now he's acknowledging things like Islamism. He won't just call it generic terrorism. He recognizes it's something about Islam, et cetera, et cetera. However, he still is not acknowledging the ultimate root. So he'll come up and say, we can somehow reconcile Islam with secularism. But the point is, Islam teaches exactly what some of these Muslims are doing, which is killing blasphemers. The earlier attack, for instance, was a man who showed that, the teacher, he showed a cartoon or whatever that's offensive to Muhammad. He got killed. Well, the religion says to do that. Muhammad himself, in the most authentic scriptures.
But don't they have? But I thought the whole point is they haven't gone through their enlightenment. Remember, Christianity had a couple of 3 rough edges on it too, right? The 30 Years' War. You had some of those brutal wars in world history, were religious wars. They're trying to go through their enlightenment. Isn't it imperative that the Muslim community is one that's got to step up here and help sort this problem out? Isn't that what's got to happen in France? And isn't that what Macron is banking on?
Yeah, it has to be Muslims. Muslims are not going to listen to non-Muslim infidels tell them how their religion works, and this is one of the issues. But as far as the Enlightenment thing, I often hear that, and I think it's somewhat of a flawed analogy, because in the Christian Enlightenment and Reformation and so forth, you had Christians stopping to listen to men, the church, and traditions, and going directly to the book, the Bible, which doesn't teach for you to kill and murder and slaughter and subjugate. Well, if that actually happens, and it is happening, because now you have the internet and your average Muslim has access to the Hadith and all these formerly arcane writings about Islam, the scriptures, the Hadith and the Sirah and the Quran, of course, and they're translated. Now people are going directly to them, and they happen to be the most violent things. Actually, the ulama, or the sheikhs and clerics, are trying to be somewhat moderate to an extent, but if you go to the core sources, and this is fundamentally the problem, the books that even Macron will say, yes, you must revere your book, the Quran, is commanding Muslims to do what he's saying is wrong and bad. This is a contradiction.
Okay, Raymond, we got to pop. We're going to have you back on tomorrow. Sword and Scimitar is the book. You got to get it. We got to work through this problem, right? There's got to be a solution here. The solution's got to come from Islam. It's got to come from Muslims, right? Just like the Chinese, Lao Beijing, it's their freedom they're fighting for. We're just here for an assist, right? People have to take action by their own hand. 3 o'clock?
Nigel Farage live and in person on the National Pulse. Jerome Riviere.
Wow.
Down the line.
That is money right there. Okay, we're going to try to get Nigel. See you tomorrow.